Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Pastime Picks Podcast. I'm Keith, Vintage Sport Flips.
And I'm Andy, the King of Pennants.
Yeah, so welcome.
Where's our titles?
I know. I realized I'm going to add that.
Jeez.
I don't. Where'd they go? Where are they?
Strong.
There we go. There we go. We got them.
Now it feels right. I feel all is right in the world now. I feel.
Yeah.
I'm my little green banner. Sorry.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know why it vanished. But yeah, welcome in, everyone. So we're going to draft our all-time NBA starting fives, and we've been going back and forth on this, whether it's not necessarily just the best five players we could draft, but I feel like we're going to try to just create a team that's going to mesh together. The goal is me to beat him.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think what we're trying to do is make not just pick like both of us pick the best 1-2 guys in all positions. I think that's not nearly as fun. So I think we're trying to mesh the best team. Could be like offensive, defensive, special teams, all that stuff. Add a little flavor to your team.
I think you got confused with sport we're working on, but that works. That works. Happy Valentine's Day, Beatty. Welcome in. All right, Andy. So, and also, this started off, Andy. So, let me get to the scoreboard because we actually split again last week.
What? Split
again. Instagram. You won YouTube. I won Instagram. So our record is.
I think maybe we just go YouTube from here on out. The Instagram stuff, I just feel like it creates. I think we should potentially just do it that way, because then if one of them wins one thing, one of them wins the other. Like, how much did you beat me by in Instagram?
I got to look back. It's pretty close. It was like 60-40, 60-40.
Yeah.
I don't mind only doing one, but I'll post it over there anyway. But okay. I'm fine. Just, man, you're bitter. You're bitter.
Well, I feel like I looked it up and I saw that I was crushing you on YouTube.
I got to check it myself. Yeah.
I think I was like, almost 2/3. So
we're pretty much split throughout the whole 11 or 10 weeks. Even though this is the 11th episode, we didn't get the opinions on week 1, but I'm 3-2-4. You're 2-3-4. So it's like one game swing.
Yeah. Maybe we switch over to just one to the.
Oh, we could try YouTube this time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's up, Mark? Maybe we'll alternate, Andy. YouTube, Instagram. We'll alternate it up.
I feel like.
You think I got too much of an Instagram following over there?
You do. I think you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you do. So. Or we could use my Instagram, right? So nobody's following me. It'll just be one person picking it, and I'll win every time.
It's true. Yeah. Glad you got the giveaway, Mark.
Did you?
Awesome. Yeah.
Did you get the Pepe LaRue? Is that what her name was?
No, Sissy Fitzgerald. You already forgot Sissy?
Sissy
last
Fitzgerald.
Week. So, guys, on that note, we are going to have a giveaway later in this episode as well. You're going to get your choice of the 2 pennants that I offered. And I'll show these again later on. You get your choice of the Minnesota Twins Deadstock 60s pennant or the pair of USFL pennants. Plus, you get your choice of that. Plus, you get your choice of 2 vintage wax packs. Get 81 Fleer, 89 Fleer.
Very
Andy,
cool.
I'll ask you again later, but you know who's in the 89 Fleer? The rookie card, and that's it.
89. It's not Bonds. Bonds was 87.
Yeah.
I mean, the 89. Yeah, it had like Mark McGuire and.
No, he was 85.
89.
But think of the 89 upper deck. This is
yeah, King Griffey Jr.
Yeah, King Griffey Jr. Like Gary Sheffield. I think Randy Johnson maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was the upper deck where that was like the awesome card, right?
That was
back in the day.
hot
Everybody
one at that point.
Griffey. Yeah.
So, so we'll do that. We'll do that during our sale of the week, which will be the first segment we're going to have. And Andy, as I said last week, when we got to our 10th episode, that was hallowed ground. A lot of podcasts don't get to 10. Not only we got to 10, we got to 11.
Yeah.
Right.
This one goes to 11.
Yeah. So what I did was I made a quick best of video clip of our podcast. So
I don't like where this is going.
20 seconds.
I'm sure this is going to be.
No, it's not bad. They do have a great coach, right, Andy? I mean, they have a coach that has how many rings does Kyle Shanahan have as a head coach?
I would assume several, but.
One ring.
That's a telephone. I'll answer it.
No, I must count them.
Yeah,
two rings.
0.
Oh boy.
Oh, Kyle. No rings, Kyle. and I don't think he's getting one this year. So I had to roll that back. I'm not
Oh,
gloating.
okay.
I'm not gloating at all. I'm not a gloating kind of guy, right? But
It was pretty close, though. I bet you were a little
close. I was
nervous there.
close. It was close, but we had to count on Kyle Shanahan to choke like he always does in the big games, right? Like little. I can never point in the right direction. You point up, point up. We got sad Kyle over there. We got sad Debo above me. So I had to. I'm not going to gloat about that. I know it's a tough loss for that franchise.
It is, yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sad. I'm sad for them.
I can tell. I can tell in your voice.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a close game. I mean, obviously, we were talking in game that it wasn't really, even though it was a close game, it didn't feel like a great game for a long time, right? Maybe at the end that changed over.
Yeah, I mean, first half was because I talked to some people at work, and then they were like, "Yeah, I mean, it was just a defensive game," which I get a little bit, but it was also kind of pretty poorly played. A lot of fumbles, a lot of like mistakes and stuff, which is fine. It can make for an exciting game, but yeah, I mean, it finished strong, so there's no question about that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
it was very exciting at the end. That's all you can hope for, really. I think on Super Bowls is that it's a close game at the end. So,
oh yeah, you don't want to blow out, and you want a close game. Welcome in, Harry. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Harry. So, yeah, I knew you were going to be happy because of I don't know if this segues into it, but in addition to you being very happy because you hate the San Francisco 49ers, you also, as we had discussed at the end of the end of the podcast last week, you get the first pick in this one. We're not even gonna spin the dial, so you lose.
yeah, no spinning wheel this week. Because as people last week, we recall we picked the game. Andy picked the 49ers. I picked the Chiefs. Neither of us nailed the score, but I won that. I won that contest. Plus, I won my FanDuel sportsbook bet. So that was.
There you go.
I had a lot of negative 49ers bets that I played. I only won a couple, but I did come out ahead a little bit.
I had a couple.
A little bit.
I picked. Where did I? Well, we picked the Chiefs in one of them, and then we also did one thing. I was going to do the Brock Purdy over on the running, and I think I would have won, but
really?
I didn't end up doing that.
The two I won. I won the Chiefs with the points and the Debo under with receptions, because you can count on Debo getting hurt in game every game.
That's true. He did
as we went over before about Mr. Glass. I mean, and he reminds me. I'm not gonna say a name because in case we have anyone from our high school who watches the podcast, I don't think so, Andy. But there's a guy I played with soccer in high school, and he would like constantly every game get hurt, like rolling around the ground, and then 2 minutes later back in the game. I'm not naming a name. That would be wrong.
I'm not going to say his name. I'll just say initials. Is it PR?
No, not PR.
JN?
There's a JN. Yeah. There's a JN. But that is Debo, right? Debo's going to be flailing around in the field like he got shot, and then two plays later is in the game, which I texted you in the game, right?
Yep, he did.
So, all right. So I will be picking first this week.
Yeah.
I can't believe we called out a high school friend of ours. All right, let me get. So like I said, we're going to draft our all-time NBA starting 5 teams, and you were, going. And so we're drafting 5. Then we're also drafting a 6th man, not necessarily like a bench guy. It's going to be we're going to put him in a 6-man role.
Yeah,
just a 6th player on the roster.
Like we had talked about offline. He doesn't have to be like Robert Horry. You can still take Robert Horry, but like Iguodala. Like those are the 6 men that I think of. But like it can be a starter that you're putting at 6 man for maybe a specialty reason or maybe not. You never know.
Yeah, just the best player available, or you want a defensive specialist or whatever you got.
Exactly.
And then as a little bonus at the end, we're each I'm going to open up a pack for each of us of 90. I think these are 92 upper deck Spanish basketball cards. How do you say basketball in Spanish, Andy? Do you know?
Basketball.
You nailed it. I don't know if that's correct. Probably not. But yeah, so we'll
fact check me.
Yeah, and then we're gonna pick the player from the pack to add as a 7th man on a roster. So we'll see how that goes. So Andy, it would be wrong here not to start off the draft with arguably the best player in history. And, I don't think there can be much debate. I assume you would pick this player number one. You got to go with Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Do a little bit of everything. We
course.
discussed about that we're going to put him in a shooting guard role, not a small forward role. I know there was sort of tweeners, but I think he was a shooting guard on that team. Right? Probably went back and forth, but you can't go wrong with Michael Jordan. And we'll strategize a bit in this draft with trying to build around a player and make our rosters, make our team make sense. And we'll see who wins in the matchup.
Well, he's, of course, he's, I think, widely considered the best player of all time, or, certainly up there, 1, 2. I think most people have him 1. I certainly do. And in addition to just his scoring and stuff, he was a good defensive player too. So it's like, kind of got a lot of good out of him. So,
and he was a good shooter. I don't think he didn't have a huge part of his game shooting at that point. That wasn't most players were drivers, right? There wasn't a whole lot of like spot up outside shooters.
No, absolutely right. Absolutely.
But I'm sure he probably would have been.
He was a maybe above average 3-point shooter, but certainly, in terms of big games, mid range he was much better, and fade away and all that. He was, and then of course driving. All right, of course I was hoping that you maybe would have gone off the deep end or something and picked local, but
I've done that before. I've done that at times, but I figured I would stick with the chalk in this draft. Certainly
have. Okay, well, I'm going to be picking back to back, so there is a little bit of kind of. I don't have to pick. It's basically my 2-3 people. And I also want to make sure that this person is not on your team later. So, so my first pick is actually, is also a shooting guard. It's going to be Kobe Bryant. So I'm taking him because I think after Jordan and Kobe, actually in the shooting guard realm, there's not a ton. Like there's other players,
big drop off,
but a big drop off. So, Kobe's I don't put him as the second best player of all time necessarily, but he's important that I don't want you to, especially if you're taking, you could take him next as a 6 man. And can't have that.
Yeah. So and there's some positions that are much deeper than others. I agree. Shooting guard is one that's shallower. And that's why we did the 6 man. Cause if I picked Jordan, and any needed a shooting guard, I already had one. He could have picked Kobe in the last pick. That wouldn't have been right.
That's true. I guess could have been, but also local hero, from sort of our neck of the woods.
Lower Marion.
Lower Marion, yeah.
And his father played for the Sixers a little bit. You remember his name or his nickname?
Jelly Bean Bryant, right?
Yeah, Jelly Bean. Yeah. I actually disliked Kobe for a long time just because the Sixers rivalry, and he always talked about how he considered himself not from Philadelphia during that time frame in the late 90s, early 2000s. But then that changed later on. But he showed he was a big Eagles fan, 2017, leading up to that. So,
interesting story. So I went to school at Maryland, and his point guard at Lower Marion went to Maryland, not as a player, just to school there. It was not
his point guard. His point guard.
His point guard in his point guard in Lower Marion. So
okay.
His high school point guard at Lower Marion, and there's video of it. There's a funny thing because you see him. He's like I don't know. By the time he was like interviewing him, it was probably, I think Kobe was maybe last couple of years, maybe a good 10 or 15 years into his career, maybe 10 years. The guy that's interviewing him, who is, you see Kobe's like this physical specimen, and then his point guard is like this kind of older, balding guy that's like, but he interviews him and he goes, who's your, next to, you play with a lot of good point guards and stuff during your day and in the pros, but who was your favorite point guard ever? And it's like, and his name's like, what is it? It's like Sam Mankiewicz or something like that. And, so it was kind of funny, but so he went to my school. We played him in kind of intramural stuff.
He was same class as yours.
I can't remember I think he was maybe a year younger, but he was good. He's very good. He's like a high school player, but he was
different tier of lower tier than Kobe.
Kobe makes up for a lot of not so great players. especially in high school, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, you got a little board posted here?
Yeah, let me post that, share that here.
Not that it's I think we understand.
Yeah, maybe we
like it. It's people are gonna kill me on that. I don't think if you're just if you're not like seeing the reasoning behind it.
No, Kobe gets a lot of love. I don't think people will kill that. I mean, I know that's what I said. There's not like a certain draft order for this draft, especially how we're doing it, how we're making a team, right? There's like, you can go whatever way you want to go with it.
Do you want to maybe we put SG though on those just so we know where we putting them?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yep.
Just to do that. I think most people understand.
WG.
Yeah. I mean, but you got to think though, like the one thing is there are a lot of centers. There's a lot of good centers.
Yeah.
Like
that's one of the deeper positions for sure.
100%. Like over the course of many years, shooting guards are really slim. Like there's a couple others, but like drops off. You have not somebody could take him, but like, you know, Dwayne Wade's great, but I don't know. I mean, he's like probably a top 5 shooting guard.
Anyway. He's in a lot of the top 5 lists I saw.
But I don't know that I would. Yeah, he's not the best player, in my opinion. Anyway,
let me get to a segment here.
All right. Sale of the week.
All right. So in this segment, for people who've been here before or for new people, I'm going to show an item and he's going to guess the selling price. The goal is for him to get within 10% of the selling price. We encourage the chat to jump in and guess as well. And on the second item that I show, so I'm going to show an item and he'll show an item. On that third item, we're going to do a giveaway. And the person closest to the selling price will win the giveaway. And I'll show that in a few minutes here. So let me share my screen to the first item here. Annie, so I know I berated this team a little bit in the intro.
Oh, geez. Where are you going with this? What did you sell? Oh, all right.
Here it is. Here it is. So this is do you know the style, what you would call this hat? If you don't, I'll tell you. Script. Yeah, the maker, the brand.
No, I don't.
Sports Specialties. You said that before. You just forgot it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a 49ers Sports Specialties wool script hat. Wool hats are better when it comes to Sports Specialties hats. Nice condition. I actually bought this on the One Stop Shop by RIN on District in one of the Ray trains. So you can get some good deals over there for people in the chat.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's sold on Etsy. This sold as a shipped price.
Okay, so that includes shipping. Circa mid 1990s, is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's nice. I guess I would assume that the 49ers probably sell for a little better. It's probably a premier team, even though you don't like to think that.
Not really. I don't know. They should. I mean, people are always asking for their stuff, but I've had a ton of stuff listed, and it's a slower selling team than some other teams that aren't as successful. Like the Bears. Bears stuff sells a lot better, in my opinion, than 49ers.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, I don't know if anybody has any guesses. Feel free, but I like that. Kind of like that guess. I think it may be a little bit higher than that, but it's probably not that far off. 49. I like that.
I do like the number there. Yeah, I might have to do a little bit of 49. I'm always a 99 guy, but
okay.
BD 39. BD knows the 99.
Yeah. No idea. Understood. Okay. I'm gonna go a little higher than that. I think my guess is that it's all in with shipping. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be $74.99.
$74.99. All right, let me do some calculations.
Man, I still go.
Thought I had that one.
Yeah, let me get to the other screen.
All right, what do you got?
pretty far off. Pretty far off on this one.
Holy jeez.
Yeah. So script hats, wool script hats are always pretty good. And the one thing I probably should have went into a little more detail is the black dome. Black dome script hats are a little bit better than like
white. I would have popped another 100 on it if I would have done that.
I don't know if you would have. I don't know. But yes,
crazy.
that's something definitely be on the lookout for.
Definitely. All right. Not my best start. I don't do well with hats. I honestly feel like there's no rhyme or reason to these hats some of the time. I think some of them don't look very good, and they're, huge.
I think Beatty likes the video.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I thought I had it. I thought I was going to dunk, but it turns out I wasn't.
Yeah, you were pretty. You had big dreams heading down off of that trampoline.
That's right. All right. Okay, so for my first one for you, it is. You see this? All right. I know it's 3 of them, so it's a triple.
I see BC Lions, Calgary Stampeders,
and the Toronto Argonauts.
And I can't really tell the era based on the.
They're 70s. They're single bar.
70. Yeah. Okay.
Well, here,
there you go. Oh yeah, I like it. Oh, let me see if I can factor that price a little bit.
These are all single bars.
Single bars. Okay. So single bar helmets or single bar Pennants are generally like late 60s, early 70s. See, these are probably early 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Tricky one. So I got to figure out I got to total them up and give you a total price. You're not looking for individual prices here, right?
You can do it however you want. If you want to give them, I mean, in the end, you can, add them up to what you think.
Okay. I mean, Canadian Football League, and did this sell with the global shipping program?
It did not, actually. It sold locally. It actually sold very local to me, which is crazy.
Oh, okay. All right. Which helps. I'm just trying to factor in because that's probably like $30 shipping to Canada or something. So that helps. People might pay a little bit more. I would guess you had these listed somewhere between $39.99 and $49.99 each.
Okay.
But I'm sure he probably took an offer. Let's see. So let me calculate real fast my number.
He's really bad at math, guys. He's like
no, I'm not. Oh, what am I doing the addition symbol here? I don't want that. All right. I'm gonna guess total for the sale $95. I think he took a discount. That was probably about like $30 each plus a little bit.
Okay.
So $95, and that seems like I'm pretty close to Mark here.
Well, I didn't see what they were saying.
Mark is $129.99.
Okay. All right.
White chocolate. Raindrops.
It's a nice one. I like that one.
That's one of the best scenes from a movie, I think. I love that dude.
Here we go.
60. I can't. Help me out. Is that 60, 30, 30?
30. 60. 50.
Oh, wow. All right.
So total up 140.
Okay, so Mark nailed it.
Mark,
you got
Mark,
10%.
Mark would have had it,
yeah.
I thought you were going to get up there too. I was like, but
what was your starting price?
So I think BC I think was maybe 49. Calgary I think was 79, and maybe Toronto was 64.99 or something.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they came in all at once, really. So
yeah, it was a pretty strong offers then. That's why I thought there was a little bit of a low ball offer, but that wasn't.
I refunded them. I mean, I refunded them some for shipping, although those were super stiff for some reason. I don't know why. They're usually not like that, but I shipped them flat too because I felt it would feel horrible if it was a few bucks more. But
so how did you refund them shipping then? The shipping, because it was probably like $25 to ship them flat.
It's not that much. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I shipped them in the box. I measured the box, and then shipping was like $14 or something like that.
What kind of box? Like the way I showed you early on with the priority mail
box?
Sort of,
yeah. It's like 30 30 some inches or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally when it's above 25 inches or once you get in that range, it's like an $15 premium on top of the shipping cost.
I don't know. Cause it was, I thought so too. And I was having trouble when I would go there and have it done. But then I just shipped something recently the same way and it arrived. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's good to go.
Are you doing it stamps.com or on eBay?
Stamps.com. Okay.
Because I had it a couple times that it didn't add the surcharge. I think if I did it through eBay, I do everything through pirate ship, which Andy, you should. I got so tired at stamps.com at the end.
It's fine for me though. I have no problem. I have all my settings. I have like a drop down that has like the boxes already done. Like
that's nice. But pirate ship, man, pirate ship is beautiful. It's like it learns. It's like an AI going on where it's just like if I ship the same thing, a similar item, it like already has all the settings in there. It's just,
that's what mine is. Yeah, the box is already set up with the exact weight and stuff. But you ship a lot more different stuff, so I can.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. A little shipping version there.
Well,
Let me get to my next one. So
you're right. I'm doing that. Okay.
Let me do the. All right. This is for the giveaway, and I'll show the giveaway in a second. Why are they so jumbled?
Oh, yeah, and that thing. I don't know why it is like that. It's nicely organized on mine, but... Oh, not a bat again. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm so wrong on these all the time.
All right. So for the giveaway, and there's not a ton of people in the chat today, so that's going to be a good odds for the people here. So and I'm going to show another close up of this, but the giveaway winner, you get your choice of a Minnesota Twins pennant and the USFL pennants. Plus, you get your choice of the 2 pennants or the 1 pennant. Plus, you get your choice of an 89 Fleer wax pack and an 81 Fleer wax pack.
Okay.
So, choice of packs, choice of pennants for the winner. So this, Andy, is, let me get to my screen, give you a little close up. So this is like a 1915 era Louisville Slugger 18-inch decal bat. So I'm going to show you the decal close up.
Looks pretty old. When was this from?
1915.
Interesting.
1915. So it's Eddie Collins. You know a team that Eddie Collins played for?
Was it White Sox?
No. I'm trying to think. Maybe later in his career he might have. But he was mostly known as a Philadelphia Athletic.
Okay.
So Philadelphia player. But yeah, I should have checked this whole before I asked you that. See everywhere he might have played. He might have played.
I was right. I'm right.
You looked it up?
No.
I'm gonna look it up while you're.
I'm contemplating.
Yeah, Philadelphia Athletics player, Hall of Famer.
When did you get this? Was this part of that big bat thing you said?
No, this was in the garage buy. This was in the buy that we made together. Yeah, we showed this in the video that we pulled out of the box.
Okay.
It was listed for a long time. I did take a big offer off of the item. You got a couple guesses in the chat. We have Mark Hoyle at $129.99, Harry Homestone at $79.98. And I'll give a little background here too. That decal bats generally very good. Smaller decal bats not as good as a full size decal bat.
And this is 18 inches or something.
This is a mini bat. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see it doesn't have all of its decal. Some of the decal is not there.
Worn off a little bit. Yeah.
It's about like 75% of decal is present.
Okay.
Let's get Beatty 159.
Mark is
yeah, that's
after hearing understood.
Yeah, I gave more information. So yeah, 249 for Mark. Yeah, anyone, you're welcome to, as long as it's before Andy guesses, you're welcome to.
Yeah, last bid will count, right?
Yeah, the newest one counts.
Oh, so don't get in a bidding war. Don't go like, okay. I'm going to say I kind of like the in-between. Harry might be right, but it might be on the lower end.
He did play for the White Sox. I'm shocked you got that. Mostly the Athletics. They went to the White Sox, then back to the Athletics. So I wanted to double check that.
So
Stupefied.
Okay, I think it's probably going to fall in between Beatty and Mark, would be my guess. So let's go. And you said that you took an offer, right?
Yeah. It was listed for a long time. This was listed for like a year.
Sizable offer. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go. I'm going to go. I think you probably had it up for $249.99. That would be my guess. I could be way off. That's what I would say. And I bet you took maybe I'm going to guess $189.99. I know it's not going to be that. It's probably going to be a round number.
$189.99. All right.
Yeah.
Let me do some tabulations.
Oh, God. I can't be that far off, I guess. Or you're just horrible at math.
Well, when it's game time, it's pay time, baby.
You can't do me like that. I thought I won.
No, I know. I hit the wrong button initially. All right, let me get here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You had it up for like what, 400 or something?
I think I had it for $499.99 actually.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, Mark got it again. Mark is rolling when giveaways. Yeah. Yeah.
Well done, Mark.
Yeah, but that was strong guesses there for everyone.
Not everyone, but
yeah, you're Jimmy Fox.
I did not do a very good job there.
Yeah, Harry picked up
stuff out of.
Yeah, Harry picked up the in the Eagles program buy that I showed you last week, Andy. He picked up a sweet Jimmy Fox mini bat. Now that bat was not as good because it wasn't a decal bat, but Jimmy Fox is a big name.
Yeah,
so that's definitely a good bat. All right, so
played for the White Sox, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, he was an athletic too, but he played for the Red Sox. He probably played for somewhere else too. I forget.
He played for a Sox, but okay.
Yeah,
I don't have a second one, so we're just gonna
get back to the draft. But that's
all right.
0 for 3 that's not the start that we had last week.
No, we were thinking we were knocking it out of the park, so to speak. But all right, this is where it gets a little tricky.
Mark, you don't have to do that, Mark. I mean, if you want to, we can do that. I'll make a little spinning wheel. It's totally your call, but you're welcome to. You won fair and square.
Yeah.
All right, so we're snake drafting it, so it's back to you.
Okay. It's so funny. I thought I was like, this is going to be so easy to do. But now I'm like in a bit of a pickle. Because you're gonna have back-to-back picks coming back, so I feel like I've been
definitely in a pickle.
Don't use my words against me. Okay, there's some strategy to this pick because again, knowing that I'm not going to have the next two picks is a little tricky for me because there's some players I would probably. Maybe people are going to be a little bit shocked by this, but I'm actually going to go with the best point guard. I'm going to go with Magic Johnson. So my backcourt is complete. It just happens to be two Lakers.
Yeah.
You may or may not. You probably get my rationale behind that a little bit, right? Or no? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I guess who.
You want a distributor there. I mean, he's not like I don't know what your rationale is yet. No.
Well, I think, again, point guard, the drop-off after Magic Johnson is big.
Yeah.
Compared to
that's true. Speaking. And that's what definitely you're going one of the shallower positions for sure. Right. And that's
and arguably one of the best. Yeah. I mean, he's probably a top 10 player of all time.
Yeah.
I know he's not the best player, but again, we're going like teams. So part of this is not just picking the best player immediately available. So anyway, you're next. So let's see. What do you got for me?
I'm loving that pick from you because I really, when I looked into this, ahead, knowing I had Jordan first or the first pick, I saw two picks from you going in a different direction. Yeah, I assumed Kobe might be one of the two, but I didn't see Magic coming in there because Magic I think was another player from a different era. Wasn't really a great shooter, and that's just, not that you have to have a great shooter.
Yeah, but he was 6'8". He was one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Of all time. Yeah. No, absolutely, you can't go wrong with that pick, and especially when you have a great shooting guard, you want to have a nice point guard alongside him.
Yeah,
but I can't not go with LeBron James in this spot.
Yeah,
where I mean I know you have Jordan and LeBron, who's going to dominate the ball. That's a bit of a how will they mesh together? You don't know,
Sure.
but I think they'll mesh. And plus, I mean, they're both. I mean, he's a great defensive player too.
Yep.
A little bit was better earlier in his career than I think now. Great
Yeah.
rebounder. He's developed as a good shooter. I wouldn't say a great shooter, but he's a great all-around player. So I definitely would put LeBron in that spot.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that obviously that was that was who I was contemplating with.
Yeah.
I had a reason for not taking him there, but
yeah, I get what you're. I mean, I think as far as meshing, I probably have a little challenge on my board, but I like it. I like it. Let's
Yeah, part of me. I mean, we had this conversation on whether LeBron was a shooting guard or a small forward. If he was a shooting guard, then I would have done, probably would have done something else. But
yeah,
I would have probably taken him number one. But
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Well, I know
Yeah.
it looks a little weird so far. I do like where I'm going, but yeah, I mean, off the top of the board, it does look like you have maybe the two best players in NBA history. But I don't know if that's not picking the best team. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I definitely have strategy for later on how I'm going to do some different things. But
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You
By the
got
way,
one more pick coming too, which I think
that's a tricky pick there. I have a little time to think about that. That's next pick. All right, so let me get to the segment section here. All right, Andy, it's just going to be a brief memorabilia deep dive this week, but I want to ask you first because I've went over this on my channel, and I know you're a religious watcher of my channel. You don't listen.
You're saying I'm not religious.
Yeah, you're not religious. Yeah, I keep religion out of the podcast here. But I lost my train of thought. Oh, do you know what do you know what a press photo is?
Yeah, I think you told me about it before, where you were saying that. I think you do. That's when they're written on the back or something, right? Isn't that what they were?
Yeah. So I was going to take you through or take people through the difference between a press photo and a wire photo. So press photos are what we call type 1 photographs generally, where they're an original photograph made from the original negative at the time that they were taken. So there's like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Type 1 is like a press photo. If the photo was made, the day or a few days after the photo was taken.
At the time of it, yeah.
Type 2 would be made from the original negative, but later on.
Sure.
Makes sense. Press photos will always. This is a press photo, 1958, of Warren Spahn, 1958 Milwaukee Braves, and press photos will always have a little paper description on back. This one's a little loose, but they'll have it's called the slug. I call it a slug, where it has the information, the date. So that's press photos will always have that unless it's missing, but they'll never have anything on the front as far as the description.
Okay.
Right? Compared to a wire photo, this is a wire photo of Willie Mays.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You can see that. Is that upside down? I don't know if it's upside down.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. So that information is printed along with the photograph. So these were taken by the photographer, the information added to it, and then they were sent over like an early wire machine, like a predecessor to a fax machine, really. And this was distributed throughout the country, the Associated Press or whoever was sending them out. So this is never going to be a type 1 photo. Sure. These are always like a later generation photo. And then something else cool with press photos that you look for or to watch, you'll occasionally find is you'll find press photos that have painting on them, like the photographer or the newspaper editor will paint on them. So you can see this one, they painted around the guy's head to
the guy's head.
Pop, this is one
stand out.
Yeah, this is one of Casey Stengel where they did all this in painting around Stengel. So that's a cool thing about press photos too. That's sometimes they have a little bit of an art quality to them as well.
Interesting. So I would assume press photos are always going to be more expensive, or
definitely, yeah. Press photos a lot better. I think wire photos were invented in the 30s, but really didn't. They became more prevalent in the late 50s through the 70s. But press photos are always going to be much more valuable than a
Sure,
wire
makes
photo for
sense.
sure. Yeah.
Cool.
And in general, type 1 photos can bring crazy money for like the big name players. And I have,
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I have one that coming in the mail, maybe my find of next week that I'll show. That's a pretty cool image.
Very
So,
cool.
Yeah. So there
Is that a keeper, or are you gonna flip it?
No, it's not an Eagles piece. So it's
Okay.
flip.
It's
Yeah.
going out the door. Gotcha.
Out the door. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So that's the deep dive. So let me,
Actually, quick question before you go. I mean, do you ever collect, or not collect, but do you ever source non-sports, like press photos and stuff, or no?
I have. Yeah, I've had a ton. I have a bunch of my antique shop. A lot. I had this big archive of like royal family press photos. So
I would assume that like presidential and things like that probably do well.
Some can, I guess, but they're not. I think they're so prevalent. Like they're a lot more common than like sports ones.
Yeah,
I had some like early aviation press photos. They do pretty well. But yeah, I've sold other genres of photographs, but sports has always been my specialty.
So loosely speaking, what's the difference in price wise between a press photo and a wire photo?
Well, I mean, it's all about content, really. So it's like,
how about there's similar content, like if they're the same.
Okay. All right. Say you have a Mickey Mantle, or say Willie Mays. Say that Willie Mays wire photo, right? Yeah. So I think if you had a Willie Mays type 1 press photo, I would have that up for like probably $100 to $200 for a press photo.
Okay.
This wire photo, I probably have it up for like $25.
Okay.
So that's probably that's the gap in price values, I would say. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So like at least maybe 2/3 more, or not 2/3 more, but yeah.
I would say, I mean, fourfold, probably fourfold. Yeah.
Very cool. Oh,
the spine is in my store. Yeah. It should be. I'm sure it is. Yeah. I bought this massive hoard of early. I still have a ton of them. Randomly I'll pull up 10 out, photograph them, and get them listed. But they're all like 50s, a lot of Yankees, a lot of Milwaukee Braves. So it's nice to have. Cool. It's another death pile I have. All right. So we're going to do the wraparound here. The wraparound. Let me go here.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a tricky pick because now I think the top 4, they were a little easier, but now we get into this round area that where do we go here, right? I mean, do I go to a deeper position with a player that fits better, or go to the more shallow position?
Getting a little tricky now, huh?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go one that just fits my team better. I think it's gonna be definitely. This is way too early to take this player, but it's about meshing my team. And I got 2 guys who can drive to the basket, right? 2 great drivers. They have a great inside game, getting to the hoop, mid-range game. But you got to have someone to kick it out to when you have those kind of drivers.
It's true.
I want Steph Curry out there at the point guard spot. I mean, he's definitely a lower tier to Magic. I mean, not a ton lower, but the best shooter in the history of the game. As far as like strategizing for my team, I want a spot up shooter like Steph Curry who can light it up when I got 2 drivers.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good pick. I mean, yeah, you definitely have a very drive friendly team right now. So yeah, makes sense to go that route.
Yeah. I like other positions better, but I think they're deeper, so I can get them a little later on.
See, I went pure point guard. You're still going scorer. Like I know he does dish the ball, but he's really a scorer though too. That's why he wasn't as high on my list, because I was like, the scoring is going to be there, right, from your team. It's just you need somebody to dish the ball. And I'm not saying he's not a good point guard, but he's not a true point guard. I don't think. I think
but I don't think I need that with. I mean, you had ball dominant players in LeBron and Jordan,
sure, yeah.
Right? I mean, LeBron,
to each their own. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad pick, but
I know at your point. Yeah, he's not like known as a distributor number 1 for sure.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting, because I was a little worried you might take a couple players that I really wanted, but you did leave them. So, in the same kind of vein, I guess, as what you're saying, I have Magic, who I think can really distribute the ball well, but is kind of a driver. Is not like you said, not an incredible shooter or anything like that. Kobe is a pretty good all around player. He certainly can drive, but he's a spot up shooter too. He's He's kind of one of those guys that was kind of a tweener in between. He was a very Jordan-like player, maybe not as good, but certainly the same kind of
very
skill
similar
set.
game. Yeah,
very similar. So to do that now, I'm going to go a pure shooter with one of the most legendary and probably intense play styles in the history of the game. And that's Larry Bird.
Yeah,
We go him. We go him at small forward. So I'm a little bit with Magic and Larry. I think
a little rivalry there. They're gonna
but they played well together. I think they're in commercials, so they got to be friends somehow. So
that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, you had already obviously you taken LeBron, which is a
so I was
player.
not going to be in the Bird market. I'm not going to take him as my sixth man.
You weren't, but you could have taken him as a six man.
Yeah, maybe later. Not. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any reason that you don't take a six man early too. If you think that's
true. Yeah, there's a value. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
And I think that's a position too, where there's like a top two, and then there's like a drop off, right? I mean, I know we'll go in. We can discuss other players there, but there's a drop off, I think, in small forward for sure.
Well, there's that skill set's different. I mean, like. Again, we're probably, I totally agree with Mark. He can, he was a great defensive player. His intensity was if Kobe's like one of the most athletic, Larry's probably one of the, not the least, but he was not athletic. He was just amazing shooter and kind of passer. He's very good at everything. So, anyway.
The interesting thing for most of your guys, or at least your last two picks, is that was a different time where there wasn't a whole lot of dominant or focus on the 3-point line and 3-point shooting. And they both could have been great 3-point shooters. They just, that game was not part of the game. At least for
no,
the most
you're right.
part,
Yeah. It was just much more of a spot up shooter, like inside the arc. But he did win some 3-point contests and stuff like that back in the day, which is always fun.
Sure. But I'm saying they could have been like, they might've been as good of a shooter as Steph Curry, probably not Steph Curry, but some modern, quality shooters. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think 3-point shooting get real big until like the late 90s. When remember playing like NBA Live 95 maybe, or that who were some of the
Ron Harper.
Dana Barros could light it up, and the guy from
Ron Harper used to do it, wasn't he? He was on the Clippers or something.
Harper. There was a guy from the Heat or
Hodges, or not Hodges.
No.
From I know Glenn Rice, right?
Glenn Rice. Yeah, Glenn Rice could light it up in that game. Yeah.
We're like
get an off tangent here. He's my sixth player.
We have a very I think we have a very shared childhood on a lot of this stuff. So we talk about the same things all the time. Yeah, definitely. Glenn Rice from Michigan guy.
Yeah. And there was another guy too, similar vein that, did I put your pick in? Let me check I did not. Small forward, Larry Bird.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what other games for some reason, I remember Ron Harper always killing me in that stupid game. We played one basketball game that was all the time.
I think it was NBA Live. I don't know what year it was.
Maybe. Yeah.
It was for PlayStation 2, I think.
Sounds right.
That was a good game. There was someone for the Bulls who was pretty good. Craig Hodges was a pretty good shooter. I think Steve Kerr was okay in that game.
Yeah. The best players were the ones that were the best 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Like Jordan or whoever I think was good, but it was always that's how you won games, really.
Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller. Yeah. All right. So there's a draft so far. Let me.
We might need to add I guess you're gonna clump them in together. We have two more picks after.
I'll squeeze 2 in the next one and 2 in the final one too.
Sounds good. All right.
All right. Quick segment break here.
Gonna go back in time. Gonna go back in time. In picking history.
We got to keep putting them in because I love the intro segment for that one.
Gotta love my voiceover.
If you guys know, for people in the chat, I'll just text Andy, send me a recording of you saying this and this. And then he sends it to me and I do all the editing.
No idea what I'm saying.
He doesn't know what I'm working on. He's just like, why am I saying this? So, and I'm going to take you back in time to when we were juniors in high school.
Okay.
And
What?
there was, I don't know, you probably don't remember this, but maybe Mark does, maybe people in the chat too, but there was a newspaper called SCD. And I don't remember that name. It was like a Sports Collectors Digest, this giant newspaper that would come out, I think, once a month. And it had like auctions and like listings of sales, people selling baseball cards, the early auctions. I would bid online for like T206 cards. And you would call a 1-800 number.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you would enter the number of the card and then enter your bid. That's how you would bid on these things. But this is an auction my dad bid on 1993, and it was the estate of, I don't know if you can see it, Henry Two Bits Homan, who was a quarterback for the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets in the early 20s. And this auction happened. I was not into collecting. You're junior in high school. You're not really thinking about,
Henry Two Bits.
Yeah. I had other things.
Good old Two Bits.
Yeah. I wish I was thinking about it more, but so my dad bid on a bunch of stuff in here. There was some incredible stuff in this auction: game used football, game used helmet, all kind of stuff. He bid on a bunch of stuff, and I forgot about this. He won a couple things, but none of the big things. The stuff didn't go super cheap, but super cheap in terms of modern value.
Yeah, sure.
And then later on, after I got out of college, out of school, I started collecting Frankfurt Yellow Jacket stuff. And I started collecting Eagles pennants and Frankfurt Yellow Jacket stuff. And one of my holy grails was a Yellow Jackets pennant. Saw one on eBay in like 1999, I think, and was the underbidder. Lost it. And years later, I ended up getting that pennant from the person. Now, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But there was a pennant in this sale right here.
Yep.
That I didn't see until years later. My dad saved this photocopy of this newspaper. I don't know why he did that. He's like a pack rat. So I was at a show, set up at a show, the Philly show, like 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. And the guy comes to my booth. I have a sign buying Yellow Jacket stuff. The guy's like, I have a Yellow Jackets pennant at home. I'm like, oh, wow. Got my attention. I wanted one. You want to sell it? He wouldn't sell it. He gave me his contact info. I would reach out to him frequently. Never wanted to sell it. Right. So fast forward years down the road, I did end up buying a different one, but I'm at the Philly, the National Sports Collectors Convention in the AAC 2 years ago. And there's a booth in there that's like packed with great stuff, but the booth is never open. I'm set up there. So I'm in early. I'm looking at this booth. The guy's never
scouting
there.
around.
Yeah. Like I say, it's great stuff, but it's covered up. So finally it opens and I go over and there was like a bum rush of collectors. And this guy has some.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody knew it was good.
Yeah. Killer pennants, including a pennant later on in the sales of the week that I sold recently. And there's a Yellow Jackets pennant on the table. And a buddy of mine who's a big pennant collector grabs it. He knows what a collector I am. Very kindly gives it to me. He said, do you want it? I'm like, yeah, I want it. But there wasn't a price on it, right? So the price was, I put a stack together, get the price. It was not cheap. It was not a cheap pennant. Thankfully, I think the person who gave it to me probably wouldn't have bought it at the price.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have bought it at the price, but I did buy it at the price. I bundled enough stuff with it, so I made money on the other stuff. So maybe I came out with the pennant for free. But it was a $4,000 pennant. So it was an expensive pennant. Right?
Wow.
But when I get home, I find this in my archives of like Yellow Jackets documents that my dad saved. And
same pennant.
Same exact pennant. I was able to photo match it. It has a stain. And it's the same exact pennant over here. So it's I find it's an interesting picking history story that my dad bid on this 1993. So how many years ago is that now? 30 years? Is it 30? Yeah. It's 30. 30 years ago. No, I forgot about it. Yeah, 30.
30?
Yeah, 30.
30. Yeah.
It's not 20. 30. It's 30.
I know. God,
We're old. 30 years ago, my dad bid on it, didn't get it. I had a shot at it like 12 years ago, but the guy wouldn't sell it. And then it actually was the same guy who I ran in the show. That's who was selling it. Who was selling that show. So
do you remember? Do you have any idea what the reserve was on that one, or what they had estimated? Usually they have something in there, right?
Starting bid was $75. It wasn't a reserve, but that was a starting bid. Yeah, I don't know what it went for back then, but I'm sure it went for a lot more than that. But the Yellow Jackets pennant, it's only the third one I've ever seen. So it's funny
too, because I'm not sure everybody when they see that Yellow Jackets would be like, that's a Springfield Yellow Jackets, not a Georgia Tech or something like that.
Yeah. Frankfurt. But yeah, you're right.
Frankfurt, whatever.
You're right. It doesn't have like a whole lot of description with it that says,
you have to know
what it is.
You have to know what you want.
And it's nice to have the provenance with it, so you know what it is, right? That it came from that player. That adds a lot more to it. So
very cool.
So yeah, it all comes around.
That's a one you're never going to sell, you think, or no?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that won't ever sell unless I sell the whole collection. Maybe someday I don't plan on selling any of that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yellow Jacket stuff doesn't leave unless it's like a duplicate item. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Sometimes I always hear some of your stories, but I don't know if I probably kind of zone out half the time.
I probably told you that before, but I had you as a captive audience here.
Yeah, you had. Yeah, so you forced me to listen.
Yeah, so you're forced to listen. So you're like, why is he telling me the story? But it's a pretty interesting story. You have to admit, right? It's like never give up. Never give up in your dreams.
No retreat, no surrender.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, I think.
Exactly, Mark. Yeah, those items when they're rare enough, the price is the price. You sort of make up a price, and that's a challenge when you're selling that stuff too. It's like, where do you put the value on it?
Okay. Well, I kind of think I'm kind of turning the corner. I like my draft. It's lining up a little better than it could have been. I'm going to continue kind of in the same vein that we've been doing. I think there's one position in this draft that's really deep, and you could be happy with a lot of different players there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with, I think, probably the best player at the final position where I don't think there's a ton of great players. I'm going to go with Tim Duncan as power forward.
Yeah.
I think he's the best power forward in history. Just, he's got the numbers to back it up. There are a couple like maybe on the same level as him. Not, I don't say the same level, but certainly the same kind of, very good players and stuff. But, some of them I think were benefited by having certain players around them and things like that. So, but Tim Duncan, I think, is also great team player. Great team player. Mikhail, yeah, no, absolutely. Certainly could be. I think Tim though is kind of head and shoulders above most other power forwards.
He's one of the guys that's close, but yeah, he could do everything, right? A very balanced player, not a flashy player, but could rebound, had like a mid-range game, great free throw shooter, definitely do everything. Yeah. Can't go wrong there. That's a good pick. All right, so yeah, you're right. That's a shallow position, and the other position that neither of us has picked is very deep. But I'm going to the deep position, and there's
going to the deep end.
There's a lot of options here at the deep end.
There are. Depends on what you want, really, right?
Depends it depends on how the rest of your team is shaping up.
Yeah.
And I got drivers. I got a great spot up 3-point shooter, but I'm going to go with arguably.
I know who you're going right now.
The best player of all time. Could it be number 2? Most people put him number 2 now. I still think most people put him over LeBron.
Okay.
I'm going with Wilt. I'm going Wilt Chamberlain.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. I thought you were going a different route, but okay.
It's interesting for me when you go to compare to other centers, which I know, I don't know if it was Harry or Mark. I think it was Harry said Shaq. They were sort of like, they're similar in the limits to their game. Like they're not like the modern centers are much better shooters. I don't think like Shaq was a terrible free throw shooter. Wilt was not a great shooter, but great rebounder. The best rebounder in history. Yeah. Best, average 50 points in a season.
Mm-hmm.
Not many players can do that. And, who knows how he would play in the modern game. A lot of people say he didn't have great competition, but he did go against Bill Russell. Now, he didn't win a lot of championships. His team was not as balanced as the Celtics were, or not as stacked as the Celtics were, but he still put up 30 rebounds against Bill Russell. I think he's a much better center than Bill Russell. Arguably, I know that's it's a debate for a lot of people, but I'm going to go with Wilt, especially with the rest of my roster.
Yeah. He's interesting because he is in a time when like there weren't a lot of 7-footers, right? There weren't a lot of huge centers. He was not only a great center, like an athlete. He was just an incredible like athlete. He wasn't not just good center, but like he was, strong. For all the accounts that I've seen, he's like super strong, super fast, like could jump through the ceiling. He was just, for his size, everybody was slow and kind of gangly, and he was not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a sprinter at Kansas, right? I mean, a track star.
Yeah.
And Mark's right. Later on in his career, people would like criticize him that all he could do was score, and he totally changed his game and led the league in assists. So I could really see him kicking it out to Steph Curry again, where you had LeBron, Jordan driving, dumping it off to Wilt, who either throws it down or kicks it out to Steph Curry. There's a lot of ball movement on this squad. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. We should have drafted coaches too. That would have been an idea.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he was on my list. I mean, obviously he was on my list. I don't think he wasn't my top center. Like he wasn't the guy I would have picked, honestly.
Yeah, there's depth there, right? I mean,
yeah.
I put 3 guys on my list at center. Now you could go deeper than that, but
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I have 3 with maybe 1 on the outside as an X factor, which I more like wanted to talk about than really actually wanted to pick. But
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
All right.
So
good. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say, did you want to jump back into we're doing one more round of
I guess no, let's do back to back because you're right. We have one more sales of the week, but we're doing 2 picks. We'll do 2 and then 2. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point there.
That's what I do. That's what I keep the ship on the straight and narrow.
But I don't even know who I drafted last. So I go again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't.
The question is, where do you go? Yeah. Well, sometimes you need to think on your feet. Most of my players can do that. I don't know about yours. But.
All right. This is tricky here.
It's tricky now.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's trick to rock around. Let's see.
No, you don't need to say that. You don't need to do that.
You know who that is?
Run DMC. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go put my spot that I haven't filled yet, and he's a close second to Tim Duncan, in my opinion. He's a similar game, not as good as Tim Duncan. I'm gonna go with the mailman, Karl Malone. Definitely had a little bit of everything. Great free throw shooter, great mid-range game, great rebounder. Not the athlete that some of the other like more modern power forwards are probably, but
well, he was probably in that time frame the largest kind of human playing power forward. I mean, he's just like built like a linebacker.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he was number 2 on my list. He was I wouldn't say a distant, but he was definitely a few rungs down for me. I think Tim Duncan is far away better. My only knock against Karl Malone was that, like, it's hard to separate him from Stockton because you don't have a pure point guard on your team like Stockton was. Stockton basically they lived on the pick and roll the entire career. So that's all they did. Like
I think he can adapt. They can adapt.
That was their game. But it's hard to separate John Stockton from Karl Malone because they played together forever and they were almost inseparable. I mean, he was Karl, and hence the name Mailman. He was the finisher and he would close it down. But he wasn't like he couldn't take you off the ball. I don't think he maybe could back you down some, but he was not like a great spot up shooter.
Not spot up. I wouldn't put a move on you to a fadeaway, but he had a great mid-range game. And I think with my team, I don't need a guy who's going to create off the ball at that spot when I have Jordan and LeBron, right? If I have a guy who can hit a 12-foot shot and
who's passing it to him,
they all pass. LeBron can pass and Steph can pass.
All right. They can. I mean, they have done it before. Yes.
But. Yeah, they can. And Wilt led the league in assists. Don't forget about Wilt.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and I think Stockton might be. I could be wrong, but without Malone, not considered the player he is. I think Malone made Stockton more than vice versa.
I don't know. It's tough. That's tough.
It is tough. Yeah, that's a debatable point, I guess.
Okay. Interesting. So it's my turn again, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. For me now, I think since you have already taken your center, I'm not going to go center because I'm just going to go best player available to fill out my 6-man because you're not going to take 2 centers. That makes no sense. You would never do that. So I'll just hold off on that. So now it comes down to like what do I need? What am I looking at in terms of almost like I think there's really only one player that's sticking out to me that should be here. I think this is probably the best 6-man you could have because he's so flexible. He's huge. He's extremely athletic. He can shoot from anywhere. Has been one of the best players in the league, still playing, and that's Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
That's tough to beat because he's also fast. He's a great wing guy. I think he's the best remaining like maybe center basketball player left.
Debatable, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
But I agree. Definitely a versatile player there, right? And even though he's listed as a small forward, the dude's how old is he? How tall is he? Like 6'11"?
He's almost 7 foot. Yeah.
Yeah. So he can defend. He can hit the outside shot. Can do everything. It can handle the ball, which is crazy for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I think of when a 6-man, coming off. He's coming off my bench, obviously, but yeah.
If I put 6-man in here, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Or bench.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, Mark, that's a good pick. It's a very similar player. I think, obviously they're both going to be Hall of Famers. I think that Durant, I might give the edge to Durant a little bit, but yeah, Garnett's still amazing. Just because I think Durant has a little more, he's got more of an outside game, probably better dribbler too, like just a ball handler. But Garnett, was, pretty dominant underneath.
Yeah, I see him more similar to like Sean Kemp style player, right? Where Garnett's bigger than him, but like Garnett,
taller, yeah.
Taller. But Garnett was not like the ball handler, at least that I can remember, ball handler and shooter that Durant is.
I do like, man, Garnett was, but when he was in his prime, he was so fun to watch.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that's a interesting pick that you're leaving your center there.
Well, you can. I'm happy with 2 players there. So even if you do go off the the rails there, I'm happy with either one of the ones that are remaining. That I think
is the guy right here that you're taking. Is he your guy?
Is that? Let me say. Oh, he's getting there.
He should. It might be. If he did this list 5 years from now.
Could be. Yeah.
He's one of the most athletic big men I've ever seen play.
Yeah.
Things he can do for like a 7'1".
He's the problem with it. He's just had some injury issues, right? His entire career.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the way he plays. All right, let me hit the segment.
Sale of the week.
All right, back at it. You got one more for me. This is where I redeem myself. I'm feeling it. Feeling the flow. Doing the bull.
All right. This is an interesting pennant here. I'm giving you a pennant in your wheelhouse. Let me find this. All right.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with this team, but Dallas Texans, they were a 1-year team, 1952. Terrible team. And not that because I'm not saying that because they're Dallas, right? They were so bad that they didn't even finish the season in Dallas. They moved. They played in Hershey. They played in Akron, Ohio.
Oh wow!
And then they didn't even finish the season. And then that franchise was like moved to Baltimore the following year and became the Colts.
Okay.
So they were a 1-year franchise. I had this pennant listed for a while. This is a pennant that I bought with the Yellow Jackets pennant in that buy. Rare pennant. Had it priced high, took a substantial offer on it.
Jesus.
Probably could have held out for a better price, but it's nice.
It looks like in really nice shape too.
It is clean, yeah. Nice condition.
It's got a good football player on it with is that one of those fancy helmets that you showed us that one time?
It is. It's a leather helmet, but this is a 1952 pennant, but they use like an earlier style graphic, the Heisman
Interesting.
style.
Oh, you dated it because the Dallas Texans were only around in 1952. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're only 1 year franchise.
All right. Well, this thing has a lot going for it. I feel like first of all, it's the Dallas probably has some, likability to it, just because it's Dallas. The fact that they were such a short-lived team, so the fact that they are turned into other teams, which I'm sure you described within the within all the information, and my guess, and I understand probably why this thing didn't sell super quickly, because probably there's just not a lot of people that totally understand what this is. Maybe
It's a small niche, small niche for sure. Yeah,
but like you said, probably a hard one to get a hold of. I mean, I've seen some of the ones that we have in the 60s football teams are selling for in the couple $100 range. So I think this one's, I bet you had this one up for, maybe I'm shooting out of the stars here, but I bet you had this one up for like $7.99, and I bet you sold it for $5.49.
$5.49. So we have a $3.49 from Mark in the chat. Let me check my.
I mean, maybe. I think it's going to be a lot, though.
You said $5.49. You
Yeah.
said $7.99 down to $5.49, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I said $7.99 if that's correct. Woo-hoo!
I'm stunned at that one.
Did I just knock it out of the park?
You just got it. I'll say you just got it. Let me get to the price.
Crushed it, baby. Yeah. Well, I was thinking that too. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Potentially.
So your 10% would have got you to $5.50. So you got it in that range by $1.
That's right.
But I do think I got to check. I think you nailed my asking price. I think I was either $7.99 or $8.99. I forget which one I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen this pennant sell for more than $500. And in fact, if I would have known it, I would have held it. But the one just sold in the Hunt Super Bowl auction, I think for $900 with the premium, and the premium is probably 20%.
Damn.
So I definitely gave the person a good deal. But again, you can't shake a stick at $500 sale.
Yeah. What do you think you bought this thing for back in the day? You said it was part of a big package. Do you remember what
Big package? I probably paid like $250, $300 on it. Yeah, it's not I didn't pay $50 because this guy was one of the most advanced football collectors there was. I mean, the fact that he had that Yellow Jackets pennant, had that pennant. I bought like 15 pennants from him and a bunch of other stuff too.
Do you stay in touch with the guy at all, or?
I see him at shows occasionally. Yeah, I bought from him at the Philly show. I never saw this guy at shows before, but then he started setting up at some shows more recently. Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah,
was he just a collector before, or is he?
I believe so. Yeah,
yeah.
I believe he was a collector first.
Damn, he's
Yeah,
got to have some. Got to have some nice. You got to have some scratch to get some of those pennants, huh?
Yeah,
it's probably just hard to source them too, right? I mean, that's probably they're not floating around everywhere.
No. Yeah, I don't know where he got all of them. I'm sure he got them all from big auction houses over the years.
Oh, okay.
But that I'm not 100% sure.
You gotta circle up with that guy. He's probably got some good...
Yeah. I want like a private pick at his house is what I want, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take his garage.
Yeah. We'll wait for that. Wait for that call. All right.
Nailed it.
That was shock. That was a shocker. I didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming.
All right. So now we're back to our final 5 picks, right? Or no, this will be our 6th pick. Your 6th pick and my 6th pick, right?
Yeah. So
your 6th man. This will be your 6th man, and will be my center essentially.
Yep. 6 men in the pack. Yep.
Okay. So who's up? Is it you or me?
Good questions. Let me see. You took Durant. Yeah. Or it was Malone and Durant. Let's see. Let me go through the draft here. You took Bird, Duncan, Wilt. How did it go?
Can you pull it up? I'll tell you what went.
Well, yeah. All right.
Okay.
I think it was Durant last. Right?
I picked Durant last. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Correct. So it's your
So
turn.
You. No, it's we.
It's
wrap
me.
around.
Me.
Yeah. We're
I
struggling here.
thought I had it, and then it turns out I did not have it. Okay. Okay. So centers essentially is what I have to take. So I'm honestly down to 2 different centers. If you look at my team, there's a reason I'm going to pick this pick over the other one. And that's because my team has enough scoring. Like there's scoring everywhere on it. I have, my 6th man's a incredible scorer. I have Larry Bird, who's one of the most prolific scorers. Kobe Bryant can shoot from anywhere. I'm going to go with Bill Russell. So Bill Russell brings the one thing that a lot of people don't have, and nobody really else on our team, on either one of our teams, is known as probably the best defensive player in history. Not only that, he averaged 22 rebounds a game. He's my rebounder. He's going to, clean up the glass. He had 11 titles. He's a winner. So between those 2 things, I know I'm probably going to get some flack.
I'm stunned at that pick. Stunned.
What?
Yeah,
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I could have taken him over Kareem, over.
Oh, I know there's a ton.
It's a deep position for sure. Yeah.
And honestly, you even was thinking until we're done. You're not going to take him. I was thinking before his career got shortened, Yao Ming. Honestly, like Yao Ming could have been up there too.
Mark likes your pick. Mark's a Massachusetts guy, I think, right, Mark?
Well,
so you might be.
He likes my squad then because
yeah.
I got a lot of Boston on my team.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, like the Boston.
But
Boston.
That's well, Bill Russell. Yeah. He was so dominant back there on the defensive side that like there's no other player that's that good. He still scored 15 points a game. It wasn't like he's shabby. He's just not creating tons of things. Yeah. But anyway. So
that's an interesting how we're talking about our teams matching up, where you have 2 rivals from the same time period going head to head as well.
Yeah.
Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Interesting pick.
I think my other choice, I think would have been Shaq. I think I would still take Shaq over Kareem, not because I think Kareem at his time was almost a better player. But if you like transport Shaq anywhere, like playing against people, he's going to crush them from the defensive side. Like he's going to manhandle them. But we haven't really totally flushed out how that would work too. But
yeah,
Kareem's skyhook. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So all right. So my 6-man pick, I'm really torn here. Torn between 3 guys, and it's tough.
Interesting.
I'm torn between a great shooter.
Okay.
Torn between another point guard. Give me a little more versatility at the point guard spot.
I see.
Or do I want pure grit, pure intensity off the bench? And you know me, I'm a grit intensity kind of guy.
Okay.
Would you agree?
No, but go ahead.
So I'm going to go with the round mound of rebound. Think of Charles Barkley.
Okay.
Give me some grit off the bench. Tough rebounder, tough defender.
He was a great player too. There's he doesn't get enough. He's undersized at a power forward, but he's still very good. Yeah.
So I think in the 6-man, you can afford to be undersized and afford to have a little versatility there.
You go undersized, I go oversized. So I don't know what.
Yeah.
That's the difference between I'm a tall guy and you're a little bit of a short guy.
Let's get the hell out of here. And I'll say who I was going to choose between, because we can't pick them. It'll be brief. I was trying to choose between Reggie Miller.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a great shooter. I have Steph Curry. I probably don't need Reggie Miller there.
Well, Reggie Miller was like a prime time player too. He just hit crucial shots. Yeah.
You can't say Steph's not a clutch prime shooter.
Yeah. I'm just saying Reggie.
Different players. Guy. And then the other one was the Big O, Oscar Robertson. The only player to average a triple-double. I couldn't go wrong with either one, but I like the grit. I like a little bit of if things start getting ugly on the court, You want Charles on your side out there.
He's gonna throw it. You could have gone. When you started talking about that, I was like, I wonder where he's going, because I was like, I thought you were going to go Dennis Rodman or somebody too.
Yeah, thump and bump with Mulhorn.
Yeah, because I thought that's kind of an interesting thing too. I was thinking, like, do I want the best rebounder of all time? Like, who's going to out rebound Bill Russell and Dennis Rodman? You'll never get the ball again.
Yeah, and I didn't think I needed that with Wilt and we have and Karl Malone. They're good rebounders inside, and then obviously the round mound of rebound. I got a lot of rebounding. On my squad. Well,
it's just because it rhymed. I'm not sure that. But all right, so let's go.
Great rebounder.
Let's go to our bonus round. Yeah,
Elijah one. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, there's not a lot of great centers now, but there were a ton of great centers back in the day. Like that, when I was going through, it's like most of the best players of all time are like centers.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Which I guess makes sense, but I mean, I don't think it can be said nowadays. But I mean, you have Shaq, Bill Russell, Yao Ming, Kareem, Wilt. Hakeem was like, obviously could be on there. David Robinson, you had there's just tons of players.
Oh yeah, but I really think Embiid. I think he's top of that list if he stays healthy. Another 5 years, wins a couple championships. I mean, the dude. The best free throw shooter on his team, can hit threes, can shoot on anywhere on the court, fadeaways, back you down. Yeah. He can do everything. And he's
such a different play style these days too. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. And I wonder, I'm sure Hakeem was similar as far as an athlete. I think Embiid talked about patterning a lot of his game after Hakeem, like inside his moves. But they weren't asked to shoot. They weren't, and that wasn't part of the game then. So it'd be interesting to see how those guys, I don't think Shaq could have done it, but Jabbar or Hakeem maybe more likely could.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, you want to go first or second on the packs?
I'll go first.
First. All right. So what we're doing for people watching on the replay or the chat is we're going to open a pack and he's going to choose for his seventh player on the pack. Unless it's a player already on the draft board,
then I can't take
then he gets it's discarded. Then he gets the next pick.
Unless it's like Magic Johnson and I get two Magics on my team.
I think we already discussed. So actually,
I'm hoping my concern. I think I'm good because most of my players, well, were they in this era? Maybe some. Bill Russell wasn't.
I'm not an expert at opening these packs, Andy. I might get a pair of scissors. Let me step away for 1 second.
Okay.
Get a pair of scissors.
I'll just sit here by myself. Don't worry about it.
wax poetic for a second.
About wax packs. Yeah, Mark, when I was going through these lists and stuff, there was just I couldn't believe how many kind of good centers there were. And a lot of my, they have them number 5 on the list, I think. But you have Moses Malone was on there and stuff too, like Patrick Ewing. I don't love Patrick Ewing, honestly, but there's probably about 5 or 6 centers, I think, that.
Look at these scissors I got. These things
geez, what the hell?
Way too big. Way too big. All right.
Oh my god. Are my cards going to be intact by the time I see?
No, I was very careful at the edge. All right, here we go. These are 92 Upper Deck basketball cards. I bought these on Dibbed It, I think, from Rod Picking and Punching.
If Kurt Rambis is in the list, I'm taking him. All right.
You got to go on back. I'm not going to tell you that. There's a good player back there. I love this player. So starting off, we got Derek McKee.
Not going to take him.
Seattle Supersonics.
Okay.
These are sticking together a little bit, too. Damn, I'm not happy with this player in the back.
Good, I like it.
Eric Murdoch, Milwaukee Bucks.
No, thank you. Probably going to wait until the end. That's a great source I get the end. Who's that?
Harold Miner, Miami Heat.
Wasn't that Baby Jordan? They call him that?
Yeah, draft bust there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. Scott Williams. Remember, he was the one that killed the limo driver by accident? That was Scott Williams.
I don't know.
Well, no, maybe it wasn't him. He looked that up.
Probably not taking him. He was a center, not a pretty stiff center.
Sedale Threet. Oh, this is a good one. You got back-to-back good ones here.
I like it.
Robert. Oh, what the hell's that? Oh, the two cards stuck together on me. Sorry. Oh man, you got what the hell? Robert Horry.
Interesting.
Pretty good one.
Robert Horry's good. Like if we're picking pure six mans, he would be my number one.
You got Air Jordan. You don't get Air Jordan.
Oh no, I don't get Jordan.
What is this one?
Can't believe you took him.
What the hell is it? This is like I don't know, some sort of cartoon card.
I'm taking the superhero. That's what
Oh, this is your guy. This is your guy.
Oh,
No, there's two cards left. Two
All right.
cards left. Tom Gugliotta, rookie card.
Ooh, Tom the Cougs.
This is your player, I think, though. This is your player. We got
Dominique
Dominique
Oh,
Wilkins.
I like it.
Those are pretty good. I'm jealous of that
Ooh, that's a great end.
pick. That could have been a draft pick anyway, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's not far.
Oh man, that's
far
the
reach.
best one.
Yeah.
I'm taking Dominique every day of the week on that.
Dominique over Robert Horry.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just for the dunking alone.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad I went first, and maybe because you probably got a Dominique in yours too. You got,
Let's see. I gotta make sure I don't cut these cards.
my favorite part of these podcasts is when you're crushed by what happens sometimes, and you just have that like sad look on your face when when something wrong goes wrong, or I steal your pick.
This is a good way to do this. We should do this for our football, baseball drafts too. I'll have to get some packs for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this guy. This is a favorite of mine growing up.
Okay.
I
Doesn't
might
mean
have to
he's
go here.
good though.
He's not good.
He's not
He was
good.
good. He was pretty good. He was pretty good. Hold on. Again,
Who-
they're sticking together pretty badly.
Who's the Celtic legend? Not Dominique Wilkins, right? Did he ever play in the Celtics?
No, he played in the Celtics final year of his career.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Got Manute Ball.
Oh, there
I
you
love
go.
Manute.
That's
I love Manute.
that's an X factor right there.
Yeah.
Too bad he can't get Bol.
Doug West.
Oof. Doug West was he pretty good though for a while? Maybe.
I think
Oh,
so.
I don't know why my
I
voice
never
went
heard
up
of this
that high.
dude. Kevin Edwards. Never heard of him.
Mm-mm.
Oh, this dude's decent. Look, it's similar to Barkley style player, I feel. I'll have to ask Mark his opinion on him.
Yeah,
We
Mark
got
knows his
Xavier
stuff.
McDaniel.
Yeah,
Decent player. Decent player.
I
mean,
feel like
don't know.
he was a good scorer, but I can't remember. Yeah, Mark will know. He's
This
a
sucks
tough-
though, because your draft is going to look like you picked Wilkins. Right? What the hell is this dude picking Manute Bol? I'm not sure I'm thinking yet, but
You're
between
Go-
Xavier McDaniel so far and definitely
Manute.
not Todd Lichty,
ooh,
Denver Nuggets.
tough one.
Really sticking together pretty bad. You got Doug Christie. All right, average player there.
X-Man. That's right. That's what his name was. Good. Yeah, he was. I remember him being like a good scorer.
LaFonso Ellis, rookie card.
It's all right.
He's sort of a little bit of a bust, wasn't he? Oh, I don't know what we do here, Andy. I don't know what we do. Get Dominique.
Yeah, sorry. That's why I went first, baby. Woo!
Is that how it works? We should
Yeah.
have spelled this out a little bit better. All right. Well, this actually is not bad.
Keith. Essentially, what happened there was I did what San Francisco shouldn't have. Or
Yeah, that's true. You got to kick it in the overtime. This is pretty good. This might be my guy because this fills out a need for me. Got Mark Price. Pretty good point guard.
oh,
I'm not great,
not
but I don't know.
Dominique
between
It's not
him and Xavier
Dominique
McDaniel.
Wilkins. I can tell you that.
And we got Clarence Weatherspoon. That was supposed to be like the replacement of Charles Barkley.
I remember him. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel bad.
Is that it? Is that all? Is that all
That's
you got?
it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I really feel like I got robbed with.
I mean, you could take
Dominique.
Mark Price. He's how many? He's probably in the Hall of Fame, right?
No.
Dominique Wilkins is.
I mean, do I go the offensive gritty player Xavier McDaniel? Do I go Mark Price?
I think
I
you
mean,
got
Newt Ball.
You got somebody I can't guard. It's gonna be great because if somebody who like watches and just sees our
Yeah.
picks, they're like, "Why did he go Xavier McDaniel? Like, does he have this like love affair with Xavier McDaniel or Mark Price?"
Minute.
You're
I'm
going
going
with
Minute.
Minute.
I'm going
All
Minute.
right.
I'm going
It's gonna be-
Minute.
It's gonna be
Because
tough
I
for me to.
think Mark Price. People were like, "Why do you pick Mark Price?" Minute. They're gonna be like, "No, it's more of like a comedic pick."
Maybe.
Minute was an
Or-
interesting player. He would shoot the three. He was one of those early centers who would shoot a
He's
three.
the
Like,
worst. You just like put the ball over his head and just
yeah,
chuck it.
yeah.
It's horrible.
But I love Minute Ball. Entertaining guy.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Good.
let me
Just wanna
fill out the
look it
draft
up
board
real
there.
quick, and then then
Let me
close
get
it
to
down.
this.
I'll be interested to see what people think. I mean, you started strong. I didn't finish as strong as you probably would have liked, but
Oh, bonus card, bonus pack, pull, player, Newt, ball.
it's
Like
painful. It's painful to type in when you're going to type in.
Yeah. What the hell
I
is-
mean,
what is
4?
going on here?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Oh boy. Maybe we should look at some Dominique Wilkins highlight reel and my new ball highlight reel.
yeah. Oh, I got robbed.
I'm so happy I went first.
Yeah.
I was
good
thinking,
call.
yeah, maybe in future episodes we'll have to spin the wheel to see who gets the bonus card pick. I like
That's
that.
true.
I like
That's
that
true.
idea.
That was a fun way to do it, though. That was a fun
I like that.
fun idea. So we'll do that. Oh, by the way, next week for people in the chat or watching on the replay, we're going to draft our favorite pop culture dogs.
Yeah.
I know we have Beatty in the chat if she's still here, who's a big dog fan. I'm a big dog fan, and he's a big dog fan.
You know it.
So that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good ones out there too. It's gonna be
Yeah.
some good conversation, I think.
And we're alternating sports, non-sports. So I don't think we decided the week after that, right? We have to go. We get
Yeah,
Well-
we always love to hear ideas and stuff.
baseball's coming up too, so we can do something baseball related. But with spring training is sort of getting off pitchers and catchers now, so
Yeah, I
Get into it.
wonder what we could do. I don't know if we want to field it. That's tough to field. Like, I guess you could do 9 players. It's a bit tough.
no, we definitely could do that. 2 a round. That's not too bad.
yeah,
very similar
maybe.
to this.
We could talk about it. But
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for the week. I think it's a fun draft board. Let me get
Yeah.
to that screen.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Mark, hit me up on the. Let me know. Oh yeah, tough call. It is a tough call, and we'll put it on YouTube. Andy's not going to let me put it on Instagram this week, apparently.
He just keeps winning there, and I feel like it's
Yeah.
rigged.
Yeah. Maybe we should just do it one more time.
Nah.
Just to see. But Mark, let me know what you would like. You can shoot me email or message on Instagram. Thank you for being here every week. And guys, we'll see you. We're gonna see you next week. Best pop culture dogs. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 7 days. Peace.
See ya.